Hello and welcome to Her Space. I am your host, Edna Thiongombugwa. In this podcast, it's all about women inspiring women. And today we have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, my mentor, my big sister. She is the woman behind Edna knowing Nairobi and knowing very many things that I know. I am so happy to have her and to hear her journey, which I'm sure will inspire many other women. Karibuni sana. You're most welcome. Welcome, Doc. Karibu sana. I will allow you to introduce yourself because if I start introducing yourself, I might miss a bit.
Thank you, Edna.
Most welcome.
My name is Dr. Catherine Ngahu. I'm an educator and consultant, entrepreneur. As an educator, I teach business at the University of Nairobi, Faculty of Business and Management Sciences. As an entrepreneur, I founded SBO Research and SBO Training, two companies that provide services in the area of consulting, in the area of marketing and business research. I'm happy to be here.
Karibu sana, Doc. And you're a mom, auntie, and you have mothered very many people. I keep on telling you, you've done an amazing job because I think behind you are more than 30 businesses that have been founded because of the foundations that you've given us. So I'm so excited. I feel like I should be sitting on that seat. I should be the one asking you questions. But today I have the honors of asking you and asking you questions so that you can tell other people. And other people can also benefit from what I have received from you for over 20 years. So thank you so much for coming. We had your story told by your son, Andrew, and it's titled Pace Setter. And your son said that, and I remember that time it was when we had Eliud running with pace setters to achieve the under 2 minutes in the marathon, the Ineos. And so the title was very fitting, but he actually gave very good examples of many opportunities where you had to pace set for him. So thank you so much for that story. And of course, a lot of people will be able to see your story in my book, Tea with Mom, Stories of Mothers. Look out for her story, Pace Setters, as told by her son, Andrew Ngahu. We have been celebrating women here, and we've been celebrating mothers. Based on the big passion that I have for mothers and motherhood. So I know your mother has a big story. So I would like you to start us off with what did you learn from your mother and how did her journey inspire yours?
My mother is a powerful woman.
Yes.
She's a woman of energy, high energy. You've met her even at 80s.
Yes.
Her 80s, and you saw she has great energy.
Yes.
She is a woman of integrity. She's a woman who has great faith. And she taught us based on that.
Yes.
She insisted that you have to have great discipline.
Yes.
In her world, if you are not disciplined, you're getting nowhere.
Yeah.
So she worked to ensure that we had discipline, that we had certain values that she believed in. My dad was always there on the background because my dad said that he had delegated certain tasks to my mom. And so she was the one who basically was spending a lot more time with us. Also, my dad was working away. He was a headmaster in a secondary school, a bit far from home, so he would come home during weekends.
Yes.
So my mom ended up being the one who really spent more time with us. And I learned so much from my mom. To this day, even as I do my tasks, I run my business, I go travel the world, I still remember my mom saying how to do this or that.
Yeah.
And her guidance has stayed with me.
Yes.
It helps me find my way whenever I'm in a situation. And I don't even know where I can begin talking about my mom. Her story is a story, is a deep story.
She deserves her own book.
By the way, she deserves her complete own book.
Yes.
Because she has done so much. So I was born second in a family of 11.
Yeah.
So first, she had 11 children.
Yes.
Who, to this day, she's able to mobilize us together in one room with our children and our and her grandchildren,
Yes.
and still give us guidance and advise us and tell us how we should live,
Yes.
a quality life.
Yeah.
One of the things she believed in is education. So why we needed this discipline that she taught so passionately
Yes.
is so that we could excel in education.
Yes.
Because she believes that without good morals, good values, you cannot be able to focus on anything and achieve. So she believed you should have clear dreams, that you should pursue them with commitment, that you should pray, that God guides you. And, she believed that the effort, you have to put your own effort, that God helps those who help themselves. So you must make an effort, you must pray as well. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I've seen her, I've had the opportunity to be, to be served by her and serve her, and she's amazing. She looks 60.
She's an amazing woman.
Yes.
I call her a woman of power. In
Yeah.
fact, even in the neighborhood, she was known. She was known as a woman. To this day, I find even the girls in the neighborhood, there are girls who say that they went, how far they went in their careers, in their lives, because they used to observe my mom. Because my mom did more talking than maybe some of their mothers.
Yes.
And then she'd go to talk to girls in the church. She would do seminars. So she talked to the community. It was not just for us.
Yeah. She does that up to today. I remember even in an event, she'll get women at a corner and start talking to them about marriage. Yeah, very, very focused.
Yes.
And are there things that you see now that she did that you're now doing as a mom?
Yes. Do you know the reason I maybe got inspired to go into business?
Yes.
First is because my mother was a real entrepreneur.
Oh, tell us about that.
She started very many businesses.
Okay.
She was actually a habitual entrepreneur. Starting a business here, then she follows it. If it doesn't deliver all the things she wants, she leaves it, she moves to the next. And of course, the first business was farming.
Okay.
She had a tea farm, coffee, and dairy. Then during maybe the days of the tea bonus, she would work with my dad to actually offer some of the products in the nearby shopping center, which was basically dead until during the bonus. So they would set up shop and basically put out products. But on top of that, she started a shop, which she ran for many years.
Okay.
Then she started another very profitable business but she was spending so much time going away, buying products wholesale and bringing them to Karatina town, that after a while, she looked at it. She came home and found the house girl she left with us had taught us what she considered very bad values. And she said she cannot have children who are behaving like that. She would rather not make any money than go and make that money, all that money. And it was very profitable. I used to hear them counting money with my dad, and they would count for a very long time when she comes back. But she decided to give it up so she can be near the home and ensure that we stay with the same values, with the discipline, that we continue to, that our humility, the values she taught and believed in were that we adhere to those values.
Yeah.
And she was very particular about values.
Yeah. And the results are good. She raised all the 11. They did well, so successful. She's happy.
She's a happy woman. Job. I think she's satisfied that to a large extent we listened to her, and that the dreams she had for us, she had big dreams for us. And many of us have actually demonstrated that we have lived her dream.
Exactly.
And now she enjoys, by the way, she has great fun, looking at that vision she had, because she had a great vision, is that she could see ahead beyond what we could think. Because in her days is when people when you did well, you went through education to a certain level. Then she told us, now, in this new world, if you do not have a degree, you do not have basic education.
True.
And I'm not going to allow any of you to go to a school which does not take people to the university. If when you do your exam, if the grades you get cannot get you admitted to a school where they have not taken several people to university. In other words, in the secondary school, they must be passing very well in that school,
Yes.
so that several of them end up in the university.
Yes.
If not, sorry, she's not going to pay. So what will happen? You have to go back and repeat until you get the grades that will get you admitted to the school that takes people to university.
Yes.
And to just give you an example, she took it very far. And after my dad died, and now what we call the lower set in our family, the younger ones who are born after, we have like the upper set and the lower set.
Being 11.
Yes, the middle, we have a divider at the number 6.
Okay.
So she said, now I'm the mother and I'm the father. No more jokes.
Yes.
I can't afford to be going to look for you, or to look for schools for you. You must pass and be admitted. And then you must choose a school that is within the district, Nyeri district.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to go
to be visiting
you in Alliance and leave these other young children here. The distance was an issue. So, and then she selected the schools. She said the boys cannot go to Nyeri High, Kagumo, and Ngahu. Those are the girls go to Ngahu. Ngahu is the school for girls because it takes children to university.
She was very clear. And we are
now
talking
my
about
sister,
the 70s.
So how does she achieve this? She already knew from the upper set that when you set the schools, when you go to school the day of selecting schools, the teachers will not maybe agree.
Yes.
So she would be at home the day you are selecting school. So one of the rules.
That day she will not go to her biasharas.
One of the rules of our home, the day you must tell mom the day you are selecting the schools.
Okay.
And then she will not go anywhere. She'll be in the house waiting. So you come back. So now, just to give you an example for one of my sisters, Julia, when she came home, mom asked her, did you select the school? Yes. Oh, which schools did you select? And now, they had already agreed the schools.
Yes.
First choice, Ngahu. The others, she doesn't even care because it doesn't matter. You have to go to the first choice. Anyway. So she went and told the teachers, that's what my mom said.
Yeah.
The teacher said no. So she came and explained to mom that the teacher changed the schools. She said, oh, is it? Okay, let me get ready. I go to school. She prepared, went to school, and she was in the PTA.
Yes.
So she goes to the staff room and says she wants to see the teacher, so and so. And so she asked her, what is it about? She said, I want to see the forms for applying for schools for my daughter, Julia.
Yes.
Show me the forms. Then she gets and brings it to her and says, oh, you see, we advise her to select this one and this one. They want bad schools.
Yes.
But my mom said, no, I told her that I want her to choose Ngahu girls as the first choice.
Yes.
So bring another form because we need to change this. Then the teacher is like, but do you know, mom?
Yes.
We do not encourage them to choose Ngahu because it doesn't take children from this school.
Yes.
Our children don't go to
the primary school now.
Yes, they don't end up going to Ngahu. So we told her to choose these ones. She said, no, mine will be taken there. Don't worry about how she'll get there. Just put it as number 1, first choice, and she'll get there.
Whoa.
And they changed the form and created a new form. And Ngahu girls was the first choice.
Okay.
Now she comes home and tells my sister, now your first choice is Ngahu girls.
Yes.
Okay? You must then understand
that
you start to behave like a girl who goes to Ngahu girls.
Immediately.
Yes. So if you do anything, you are told, is that how Ngahu girls behave? If you do something, that's how I saw her extending that training that she gave to us.
Yes.
And then, of course, here we are. As we are older now, we're in the university and now we're working. And we come home and Judy, bring the report forms.
Yes.
Can I see your report forms? So we add now voice to my moms.
That one is not close to Ngahu.
Demanding to see that they are working hard to get to the schools.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yes. And Julia ended up in Ngahu.
She was admitted to Ngahu. She got the grades because every day she was being told, remember you're going to Ngahu. Is that how a Ngahu girl would be reading? Is that how you get the scores that will take you there? Until she worked very hard and she got to Ngahu girls.
She did.
Yeah.
And I see so much of your mother in all that. I see you because that's how you mentored us.
It's the way she did. The way she.
Those were your words.
Yes,
Is that how you behave like someone who is driving a Mercedes?
Yes. Are you going to get there if this is how you are behaving? You know, this is a dream.
Yes.
The behavior must change at this stage.
Oh.
And that's exactly how life is. That many times we think that I want to go there. I want to become a successful person in this area or that area. Or be maybe I'll be a successful musician or artist or videographer, whatever it is.
Yes.
Then what are you going to do so that you get there? That's
Yeah.
always a question.
Yeah.
It's that she pushes you to find where do you want to go.
Yeah.
So you say, I want to go there.
Yeah.
So if you want to go there, can you start behaving? That is true to this day for anybody, no matter where they want to go.
That is so powerful because it's like the mission and the behavior required. And that is exactly what we do. Wow. Exactly. So thank you so much. And we love you, Mommy, and we honor you, and we pray that God adds you many more years to see more great grandkids come through. She's been amazing.
She's been wonderful.
Yeah. You can just tell her something. What would you tell her?
If I was to tell my mom something, is to say thank you so much. You are such a wonderful mom. You did such a wonderful job with us. I'm where I am because of you, and you know it.
Yeah.
Even when I wanted to do great, unusual things, I would come to you and say, Mom, pray for me.
Yeah.
And your prayers are so powerful because whatever we enjoin with you in prayer will come to fruition. Thank you so much. May God bless you and lead you on and keep you for many, many years.
Oh, I'm sure she will love that. Amen. So tell us about your own journey now.
My journey starting from where?
How you've grown, you're a successful businesswoman. You know, in your intro, we did not say the many hats you wear. You've been a leader in this country. You chair many boards. You have mentored many. You have impacted a lot of organizations with your business at SBO Research, SBO Training. Maybe just in a few minutes, you can just tell us about your own journey and how you integrated motherhood, running the business, teaching, doing all the things that you have to do.
How I came to all that. Maybe if you talk of the journey, it starts from now. I've talked about my mom and my childhood.
Yes.
Maybe then going to high school, finding teachers who had great inspiration and who encouraged us. To be honest, in my journey, I was really not very obedient in the early days. I wasn't
Are you saying that in front of Mommy?
I wasn't very, of course, we were taken to a boarding school early.
Yeah, okay.
So we were not very much in the, how would I put it? We had this sister, the school I went to was a nun school. They were Italian nuns.
Okay.
And we had the boarding nun, Sister Egidia. I still remember her. So she's the one who used to teach us how girls should behave.
Yes.
And we were rebellious. We were trying to behave differently. And one of the amazing rules in our school was not to walk near a fruit tree, let's say avocado tree, mango tree,
so
when the mangoes, when the mangoes are ripe, when the fruits are ripe. Don't walk under the fruit trees, mango tree, avocado tree, when the fruits are ripe, so that you're not tempted
to steal,
to eat the fruit.
Okay, without permission.
Exactly.
Okay.
So because we had to wait for the fruit to be ripe, so they are picked and taken to the dining hall. So we were not always very obedient because would be try to rebel against some of those rules and try to do. Then she would teach us, should many things. Let me say, she would try to do the opposite.
Yes.
So like she tells us, girls should speak softly. You should not shout. A good girl behaves like this. And then we would want to shout and speak loud
yourself
to actually, so we were not always obedient. But the values they taught us were really powerful. And so from now that's going to high school. And high school was very interesting because our headmistress, Miss Joroge, who I sometimes call Miss Eve, she used to believe in the things my mom believes in. Her values were consistent with my mom's.
Yes.
Very tough disciplinarian. So we didn't like her most of the time, but the things she taught us, when I look back, I don't know where I would be again without her. That's another woman who impacted us. And then when I go home, I would go and teach my family the things
some
Miss
of those
Joroge
things.
taught us. And then how she lived her life. She was an example. I think she had studied out of the country, had very high standards, should wear matching clothes, beautiful handbags. So we aspired to be like her. We aspired to be able to maybe dress
Like that.
to her style. Yes, so, but she was really tough. But some of the things she did in high school that made a very big difference is she'd invite speakers
Okay.
to come and speak to us. She'd show us, different things. One time, she took us to Mount Kenya Safari Club
Okay.
to see how success looks like.
That
So
was-
she used to talk to us about how to get successful. Then she puts us in the school bus and takes us to Mount Kenya Safari Club, which was, even at that time, it was that place looked like heaven.
Yeah.
When we went there, I looked at that, I said, maybe that's how
Can
heaven looks like.
imagine. That is in
Because
the 80s.
it was beautiful.
Yeah, always.
In the
even
80s, it was just after, it was, that time, it was a purely a club,
Yeah.
really.
Members club.
A members club, and it had members from even the US
Yes,
and
UK.
It was, if you read the story of Mount Kenya Safari
I
Club,
know
it's a
it.
whole story.
Yes.
She took us there and bought us a soda,
And
And
sit
some-
down properly.
and sandwiches or something. She inspired us. She told us how to get where you want to go. Yeah, and it made a very big difference. Then she showed us very many different movies,
Yes.
but the movies were very well selected. And one of the movies my headmistress showed us was Sound of Music.
Yeah.
That movie changed my whole life.
Yeah. You've loved that.
It's a movie that showed me another side of the world. We knew about our local environment here
Yeah.
in Kenya.
Central
Not even Kenya. Did
It
we
was
even know
Central
Nairobi
Kenya.
or Mombasa? We knew just our rural environment, our school.
Yes.
And then she shows you this movie that takes you to Austria, Salzburg.
Awesome.
You see the Alps.
Oh.
Then you see this family. This
Yeah.
movie shows you a family. The Von Trapp family and how they used to live. And they had this beautiful house with a beautiful staircase. They were singing. It was such a beautiful musical that it made me think, when I grow up, I have to go to Salzburg.
You need to. She was exposing you to like a world beyond
She used
your
to tell us,
present environment. Yeah.
she used to tell us that life is like a book. And if you don't read, you have, life is like a book.
Yes.
And those who do not travel have read only one page.
Chapter.
One page.
One page of the whole book.
Those who don't travel have only read one page. And that gives you perspective. Because she used to take us to different places in our days. Imagine in high school, she brought us to Nairobi, to Kenya Cinema, to watch a movie in the theater. About the movie.
Oh.
Because it was hot around that time.
I love her perspective.
Another,
from a high
musical.
school teacher. So did you end up going to Salzburg?
I went to Salzburg many years later.
Oh, wow.
Many years later. It's a long story.
Did it look like how it looked in the movie?
It's beautiful. I should go back again.
Okay, we should go together.
It's beautiful. But it was all that motivation she gave us. But that time, we were not even thinking she's doing a great thing.
Yeah.
We were not noticing the difference it makes.
Yeah.
Until later, if you listened and you followed, you find that you end up somewhere.
Yeah.
And then again, the principle of my mom. Now I said, I want to go to Salzburg. So my mom would ask, so how are you going to work so that you can end up going to that place you are saying?
Yes, because it will require money.
Now, Ms. Joroge showed you the movie. You want to go to where the movie was made. How will you get there? Start working hard. Is that how you are working the way people work who want to go to places out of the country?
I like that.
So you work harder. You find yourself doing more.
Yeah. I like that because it's like giving you those life lessons in a very realistic way. Yeah. And I see a lot of how you're a teacher of many. So tell us about founding a business, running it. as a mother?
Yeah,
a
the story
busy-
is a bit long because, okay, I
Yes.
come from high school,
Yes.
I go to the university. Actually, the story of going to Salzburg goes up to university. When I went
Yes.
to university, I met my roommate.
Yeah.
Those days you'd go and you're given a room, and you're given a room with, someone else is brought to your room. So you have a roommate. So you get to know each other. And you start talking about your families. In fact, what I remember when we started talking with this lady, Teresia, I told her about my school. She told me about her school. Then we started talking about movies. And I talked about Sound of Music and how I loved it and how I loved the people in the actors.
Yes.
And she said the same, that's her favorite movie.
Okay.
And so we made a pact to go to Salzburg together.
Okay.
So the short of it is, in the very end, after many years, we ended up going to Salzburg with Teresia.
That was so nice, and you
Yes.
met your goal. And I'm glad it turned out the same, because sometimes movies are shot in places and then you go there, you find it's not the same. It's like, but Eiffel Towers.
Yes. Then in
Yeah.
the university, of course, you have all these distractions, but somehow I remained focused. I was able to still go back and say, I want to get somewhere. All I knew is that I must get beyond this. I need to go further.
Yes.
I need to go further,
You had
because
already
I
seen
think if I
Salzburg
just
somewhere.
have a first degree, I don't think it'll take me very far.
Yes.
So I wanted to go further. So I started working for a master's when I was in second year.
Okay.
So I started working for my grades. So I went to a teacher and asked if I want to go for master's. I had read in a novel. To be honest, I saw it in a novel because I
Okay.
was a reader.
Curious.
I read in this novel about MBA, people with MBA, how they were hot in America.
Okay.
That it was the most important qualification
Okay.
in those days. That when you had an MBA, you go places.
Yes.
So I went and asked the teacher, what is an MBA?
And how can I get it?
And the teacher told me, it's Master of Business Administration.
Uh-huh.
So how can I get it? He said, I have it.
Okay.
I was like, okay, now I've seen a person with an MBA. How can I get it? And he told me how to get it. He told me, actually, all you need, if you work hard in this, stage,
Your undergraduate.
I'll check for you your average,
Yes.
and I'll tell you what you need to get the next year, so that if you get a score that gives you a first class, you are guaranteed that you will be admitted to do MBA at the University of Nairobi, and guaranteed that you get a scholarship to do it from the government. So he advised me to actually work to get the first class grade, to get to average. Where I'm weak,
Yes.
I will do better in another subject so that the average will be a first class.
Okay. You started working for a first class in second year?
Yes, deliberately, consciously, the same way my mom taught me that if you want something, you start with the ground. How do you work towards getting
that.
there?
I love
That's
that.
what I did. So I ended up getting
With your
the first
first
class,
class.
and then I had been advised to apply for the scholarship, so I had
Yes.
applied, and so I got the scholarship to study at the University of Nairobi for masters.
Clever people get first class. And you did a good job with it. So then you ended up in MBA.
I don't even think I was that clever. I was just focused and
You were focused
organized.
and
You see, we were
strategic.
taught how to get the goals you want.
Yes.
There are many people who are cleverer, but they didn't know how to achieve or how to use it.
And I like that you are strategic. You even found out the way and the route.
Yes.
So you got now from B.Ed to your MBA.
Then I go to MBA at the University of Nairobi, full scholarship. Government pays for living expenses, allowance. And now, because I was in KU, when you finish, you are posted. That time it was automatic to be posted for a job.
Yes.
So we finish in, you close, is it June, July?
Yes.
You're posted. You go to the university.
Because you are supposed to go teach.
Yes, you're posted to a school. I was posted to Matinyani High School in Ukambani.
Oh, did you go?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It was so important. If you're going to get a scholarship, you need to go to the school where you're posted, teach for 3 months before the university opens in September,
Okay.
and you will get 80% of your salary. Now you come back on study leave. So it was a very important step. The only thing I didn't do, like many of the men we went to, them they knew that you should even get a house allowance, so that when you come back to study, you even have house allowance.
Yeah.
So you can imagine now we go back to
Schooling
the
those
university.
days was good.
I come back I go and teach in Matinyani, and I stay there for 3 months. I'm given the scholarship. I'm admitted at the University of Nairobi, and now by September,
Yes.
so I teach for 1 term, really. Is it June, July, August, I think.
Yes.
No, August is holidays.
August
so
is
when were
holidays,
we
so it's-
finishing? Anyway, Can't remember the specifics, but I know that I was there for 1 term and that I got a scholarship in the next period.
Yes.
And basically went to continue with school the same way. That year still I was in school, now doing my MBA at the University of Nairobi, full government scholarship with allowance, living allowance, that was higher than a teacher's pay. In other words, that salary I was getting, when it's 100% after tax, it's lower than the allowance we were being given to be students
So being a
on
student
the
was actually
government
better.
scholarship. But now I not only have that, I have the 80% of the salary because I am on study leave.
You're still
I'm a government
supposed to
employee
be-
on
yes.
study leave. So it turned out to be such a fantastic opportunity.
to do your MBA. And then, of course, went on to what on?
Then later I joined University of Nairobi. So I write to TSC and advise them that I've transferred my services. Now I'm still in the Ministry of Education.
Yes.
I've transferred my services to the University of Nairobi. So
To
I
continue
started
teaching there.
I started, yeah, I continued teaching. Now I started teaching when I was very young. I had no idea. And I was a lecturer with no much experience. So I was challenged and I wanted to learn more. That's why I wanted to go to Wharton Business School. When I saw the advertisement for going to the Wharton Business School for a business research fellowship,
Okay.
I wanted to go. And I applied. It was competitive. It was, the advertisement said they want 2 people from Africa, 2 people Africa-wide.
And you are the number one
I
and
had to
two.
put my best foot forward because the embassy needed to get somebody who will win so that their country wins. Because the selection was every embassy gets 1 person. And those people are taken and they select the one they want. So I ended up being
Well done.
the person to go to Wharton Business School on a full scholarship by the by the US government now. So I studied on full scholarship, full allowance. And amazingly, this fellowship, you even travel business class.
Oh, those days.
Yes, you were given a business class ticket to travel. And when you get there, because it's a business research fellowship,
Yes.
you have to travel within America to do research
Okay.
and to learn about other programs that are being done for promoting entrepreneurship. It was actually about entrepreneurship.
Is that what led you to founding a business?
Exactly. When I
Okay.
was there, I started visualizing myself now running a business that did business research. So you see how
It ties up.
it's a step-by-step process.
That's what
Now I have an
connecting the dots.
yes. When we are there is they have a program called Small Business Development Program where you participate in advising in teams, advising SMEs
Okay.
the
Like
ones that are
incubation.
there's an incubation program. We even traveled to see other incubation programs like in the University of Mississippi.
Okay.
We went to Illinois and many other places.
Yes.
Then all that experience, and you are participating in helping, working with SMEs, and you are entitled to attend any SME program, actually, even the ones designed for the SMEs. So you keep learning.
Yeah.
So I knew when I come back, I'm going to start a business
And you did.
as a consultant in business research.
Okay. And you did.
And I did.
And-
When I came back, now, I didn't even first have the business. I just kept talking about it. I was
Yeah.
talking, saying, I'm going to start a business. So what will you be doing?
Because you
I'm
have been in
doing
that
research. So everybody knew what I'm planning to do.
Yes.
Okay, all the people around my circles, like especially within the university and the like.
Yes.
And that's how somebody who heard that Standard Chartered Bank was looking for somebody to do research for them, talked to me and said, why don't you call this Brian Rogers?
Yes.
He says they're looking for someone for
do for
research.
them some research.
Maybe you'll be the... I called him. And we had a meeting and I explained to him what I've done, showed him my experience, told him I was at Wharton Business School. That's it.
And you got the job.
He, unlike many other Kenyans, knew about the Wharton Business School.
Okay.
So Brian Rogers, shout out to you. He gave me the first opportunity. He actually helped me create the business because at that time, I didn't really have much.
Okay.
And he gave me the job. And then I told him I don't have money. After he gave me the job and signed on the agreement, I told him I don't actually have any money
To start
to
it,
get
to
started. And now he
execute.
started helping me with getting.
Okay.
He printed for me the first questionnaires, and he gave me a down payment.
Yes.
And that was Standard Chartered Bank doing a national survey. I started with a national survey of the whole of Kenya.
Yeah.
So
And look at you, the legend, the first woman in Kenya to start a market research firm. All of us are coming after you. And you've done an amazing job. I think we have been saying in our circles, we should celebrate you more and more. Yeah. The other day we were celebrating Roger Steadman because he was the first man.
Yes, Roger Steadman actually was an inspiration. Also, we worked together at the Marketing Society of Kenya. We were in the governing council for Marketing Society at the time. So he's been another inspiration in the journey
of market research.
Yeah, especially in the business journey.
Yeah, and you've done an amazing job, Doc, because not even with your staff, many of us who have now gone on and started our own businesses, but even with impacting organizations. So many decisions you look at today were made because of
I see them.
Your work, results.
We worked for many firms. We worked for Safaricom in the early days for many years, like 8 years. We worked for Safaricom.
Yes.
We worked for EABL. We worked for very many firms. Actually, Cadbury's. We worked for now the banking sector. We worked for Standard Chartered, and many even non-governmental organizations, population services. We worked for very many people, and I believe the decisions that we were supporting were key and made a big difference. And then with time, we've gone on to work in the health sector, in the energy sector. We've worked so much in the energy sector. I think we are part of the energy sector in Kenya.
You are.
Yes.
You are. You've touched many. Because even me, when I write my own CV, I can't believe all those organizations that we've worked for. And that was a great foundation. And to the market research industry, we celebrate you. And we continue to honor you because we always say if we are who we are because of the foundation that you gave us.
Thank you
and
so
the
much.
Ethics, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, the ethics, the resilience, the grit. I mean, all those nights, burning the midnight oil.
Oh my goodness.
Writing reports.
Oh my goodness. You have to be resilient in the research industry as you have now seen with your own firm.
Yes.
If you can't wake up at 4 a.m. sometimes or sleep at 4 a.m. You choose one.
You choose one.
I chose to sleep at 4 a.m. because I'm not a morning person.
Yeah.
I would sometimes work up to 4 a.m.
Yeah, and we did many nights.
Because we have deadlines, we have proposals with deadlines, you have tenders now with deadlines that are very tight.
Yes.
So you'd have to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that now I have a team that's able to carry on.
Of course.
You know,
now you're chairing the business. You no longer write the slides. I'm still writing the slides.
No, and now you're so young. You've not done half of your time. So please continue doing the job.
Exactly. Yeah.
But continue building a team.
Yeah.
That is the single most important thing because it's the team that enables you to get to a higher place.
Yeah, to grow and to free up your time to do more strategic work.
To do also the things you love to do.
Yes. Because
like for me, I ended up, of course, sitting in boards. I was called by the government to chair the ICT board, which created, actually to create the ICT. It didn't exist.
You did
it
that.
It was, we created it from scratch.
Yeah.
And it ended up becoming a very important organization for promoting ICT in Kenya.
Yes.
Promoting ICT adoption and marketing Kenya as an ICT investment destination.
Yes.
It was powerful. And then it later became the ICT authority.
Exactly.
And I served there for 2 terms. For 6 years.
Yes.
And then after that, I was again taken to serve at the Universal Service Fund for ICT. That's at the Communications Authority.
Yes.
And that's an organization that again was very impactful because it shows you about the regulatory aspects of the communication sector, but also it's the one that is serving to fill the gaps in the ICT sector to ensure that everyone in Kenya is served. So it serves the unserved and the underserved. So you only basically go out into the peripherals of Kenya, the areas where they don't have telecommunication services. So it showed me Kenya. That one introduced me to Kenya because we'll go to somewhere and they don't even have Safaricom.
Yeah.
You are here doing M-Pesa and everything, and you have
Wi-Fi,
data and everything.
yes.
And there is somebody who doesn't even have
A network.
access.
Yeah.
And at one time we went to a place in Masai Land where they would get into a truck on a Thursday, and all of them go to town with SIM cards. They don't even have devices. They go now and get a phone to put the SIM card and get it. Then they can then they can be able to send messages to their families in other towns and all that. They don't have access to telecommunication service, basic services they don't have. Yeah, so those are the...
And were they, now have we grown?
That's what we, yeah.
Were we able to get help?
Yes, we start, even like where you see them fighting in those, like Kapendo and wherever. I remember the minister, Matiang'i, then Dr. Matiang'i calling us and asking us to help make sure they are connected so that they can be able to even control the banditry. Yeah. So it was a very, it was impactful, the work we were doing.
Yeah. You've impacted a lot, sitting in boards, managing your own businesses. Nowadays, people are telling me not to say how did you balance, but to say how did you integrate.
How did I integrate? I know people no longer like the word balance, because balance in terms of meaning maybe goes a bit perfection, which is not possible.
Yeah.
But how to, integrating all that and being a mom.
Yes.
First is that when you become a mom, one of the lessons I learned, that changes your whole life.
Yes.
It defines your life. It defines your priorities.
Yes.
Momhood becomes your priority. Such that, and you don't even give yourself that assignment, it just happens.
Naturally.
So one of the lessons I learned is you have to have a good team. You have to learn how to delegate.
Yes.
And delegate without losing accountability. You're still accountable. So the style of delegation where you still have a picture of, you train the people you are delegating to, so you know they can do what they are supposed to do.
Yeah. I found you very good at that. You're able to delegate, and I think that is how you have grown a lot of people, because you allow people also, and you've been good at that. I'm not good at it.
One of the lessons I learned very early, actually when I was, I think I went to a training where we learned about delegation. And one of the examples they used to give, there was this case study that was used for training on delegation that talked about the president of America who was so poor in delegation.
Which year?
That was Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
And how he didn't achieve much because he feared to delegate. So he would be left like over the weekend reading the military budget, and the military boss is playing golf. They said that he even used to, to check the list of who was to play tennis at the White House tennis court. And because of that, he was overwhelmed with work, and he couldn't have enough time to do some of the strategic things.
Yeah.
So I learned, well, even in my small way, in my small farm, I better learn to accept that you have to delegate, and also to allow people to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because until people can make mistakes and not be penalized, they cannot learn.
True.
And they cannot build the confidence to do it.
True.
So you have to let them be. You have to let them, that they will make some mistakes in the early days, but that's why you are entrusting them. Because even as we learned by making mistakes.
You have to,
If you are scared to make a mistake, you'll never get anywhere.
You'll not grow.
Yeah.
It's just that the mistake comes with a cost. So sometimes, but I believe I have found you being very good at that, and that has helped you also to grow so much.
Can I tell you my perspective about the cost of mistake?
Yes.
It's one of the best costs.
When someone has...
Is the cost of knowledge.
Yeah.
Is a mistake. You make a mistake. That cost, it's like the school fees you paid to learn something.
Oh, I like that.
It's like you've gone to a college,
yes.
You've paid a fee, but actually you learn faster by making a mistake than going to be taught. You can go and be taught something forever, but until you step out and go to do it, then you are like surprised how it's complicated in reality.
Yeah.
But the cost of mistake is the training.
I like that, because especially sometimes when I'm running this business, my own business, I'm like, when will I stop making these mistakes? You make so many mistakes and you feel the pain. And then you're like, God, what is the end of making mistakes so that I can now advance?
If you're not making any mistakes, you're not learning
growing.
anything, and you're not growing.
I'm at
So you
peace.
must,
Be at
we
peace
say you
with it.
must keep learning. In this business, you must keep learning.
Yeah.
And to learn, you must also keep practicing. And then you make a mistake. And then
Yeah.
you learn from it. The next time you do better.
Yeah.
So they say, how to grow. Do the best you can now.
Yeah.
And when you know better, do better.
Yeah. That's true. How have you managed to keep yourself young, refill your cup, maintain sanity?
I have a lot of helpers.
Yeah.
I have
I like that.
so many people.
Mm.
I have so many people helping me with my work. I have so much support, and I'm a good delegator.
Yeah.
Because I learned about delegation, it has freed my life. I'm able to delegate and allow people to do the work that would support me.
Yeah.
And that maybe relieves me of too much, whatever. But thank you for thinking that. Thank you if I'm looking.
Yes, you are.
Thank you so much for the thought,
You-
for
No,
the compliment.
for the compliment. You always look so nice and well put together. And are there other people you look up to? You know, we look up to you.
Now,
And
before I talk about the people I
Yeah.
look up to, maybe I need to talk about the people who make my life
yes,
work.
yes,
You know, it's basically being able to, at the workplace, you know, I'm Nuroga MD of SBO Research,
Yes.
Ruben Gathemia, my MD.
Yes.
He relieved me of so much weight because he carries the
must have been
business, he
great.
leads the business, he leads the team, he manages and ensures that all the work, I don't even know exactly until during the reporting periods what exactly happens in the details.
yeah,
I just know the big picture.
yeah,
And he takes care of the forest and the specific trees. Yeah, I see the forest in total. I have no idea about the specific trees in that forest, to be honest. Yeah.
and that helps you to relax
That
a lot because
from a
that work
business-
is a lot. Yeah,
So from a business point of view, that has made a big difference. Of course, a lot of people ask me, how would you be able to do that? To leave your business and have someone run it.
yes,
That's part of that
because
delegation
yes,
training I got when I was very young in the business. Then at home, you have someone helping you.
yes,
Let them help you as much as possible.
yes,
You go to any job, you use whatever resources that are
there.
provided for you. Maximize the use of the people
Yes.
that are, availed.
yes,
Yeah, because any organization has people who are supposed to help you do your job.
Yes.
Use them to the
Yes.
fullest.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you make your life easier.
And that makes a lot of sense. Like all these people behind the camera, you can be in the camera, you can be in the front. So someone has to be doing something and to allow them do what they're good at.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that has worked well for you. So do you have other people you admire, you look up to?
I have many people I admire, I have many people I look up to, and I have many people who've inspired me. Many. I'm just trying to think if I was to start naming,
It would
is
be a
that
long
I'll
list.
leave
Yeah.
some people out.
Yeah, it's okay, you don't have to. So when you think about a woman out there who is starting, what are some of the things that you'd tell them from your experience that, like to help them to grow? What are just the 3 things that you tell a woman who is starting now?
If she's starting right now, first there are 2 things I was told by my professor, Edmund Butt at Wharton Business School. One is know-how. Understand the area you want to serve. Research, build knowledge about the area you want to serve. Preferably serve in an area that is in your specialization, where you know something. Because in the early days, you normally don't have the resources to hire many people and all that. You need to showcase some understanding, know-how.
Yeah.
Number 2, know who.
Yes.
Know who.
Yeah.
Who gives this work? Who needs what you want to do? Who are you going to serve? Who will be paying you? You need to know who.
Yes.
That is one of the challenges, the gaps I see in our education here is we talk about know-how a lot,
Yes.
but we don't talk about know-who. And there is no business you can start successfully without effective networks.
Yes.
In the program I did at the Wharton Business School, they had a whole course on networking. How to find and meet the people who will support you in the business that you have started, how to find the people who will support you, progress that business to the next level,
Yes.
how to find the people who will fund you. So people say that money is the number one. I do not agree at all. When I started my business, I didn't have any money. I had just an idea.
Yes.
And somehow I knew who. And those two led me to the money.
Yes.
Because even for the money, it's about, if you have the know-who and the know-how, then you will know where to find the money.
So if you know, if you have the know-how
And the
and
know-who,
the know-who, then it can
the
lead you
money
to
will
the money.
follow. Because, of course, if you expand the list, I first say those two are the most important.
Okay. The
In my
know-how
view,
and the know-who.
know-how and know-who. After that, if you are to expand the list, you say you need to have, you know, people talk about capital. I started with no capital.
Yes.
So we say that when you have enough know-who, when you have the know-how, it gives you intellectual capital.
Yes.
And that's enough for beginning.
Yes.
Maybe you are a smart carpenter. You know how to make something so well.
Yes.
That is intellectual capital.
Yes.
I knew, I had read, had practice, I knew how to do research, and I knew what you needed.
Yes.
That was my intellectual capital. That's what I took to the market. And I convinced the client, and the client gave me the money to
Yes.
do their work.
Yeah.
That's,
It's possible.
that tells you how money is secondary. But many people say, I won't start because I don't have the money. Maybe you want to start a cleaning business. All you need is the tools.
Yes.
You need the knowledge, how to do the cleaning perfectly, and you need to like have something unique.
Yes.
Maybe know how to remove stains, stubborn stains
Yes.
in people's
Carpets.
carpet or in
Upholstery.
floors and the like, so that you are able to say you can see it and you say, have you tried to remove this stain? Why don't you let me show you?
Yes.
I can do it. I can be able to remove this stain. That's already you are. It's very easy to start such a business because
sold.
your client is already presenting the problem in public.
You can help them.
Your potential client, that is, it will be that person will be like, you can do that, but I have people here, they've said it cannot be removed.
The floors.
And then you find others, they have done it and damaged.
Yes.
Yeah. So you see, once you have the know-how,
Yeah.
the next thing is the know-who.
Yeah.
The rest follows. That's how you then get the capital. And then, of course, you need to learn how to manage money because now the money starts coming.
Yeah.
And you wake up and here you are, you have a business, you have people. When we talk about resources, the people are the most important resource in your business. The money, because the people can't come if there is no money, by the way.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to manage these two resources to be able to now expand your business to the next and the next level.
And to grow.
Yes. And the people, it goes with the delegation I talked about.
Yes.
You have to learn how to delegate to them while retaining control. So you retain accountability. You can be answerable, but you don't have to be the one doing it.
Yeah.
Yes. So you teach them, you train them, you show them so they can be able to live up to the standards that the client expects. And that's how you continue to grow, because you can't grow if you're going to work alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will always remain small, and you'll get tired and it will close.
Yes.
Yeah, because it will decline.
Yes. In fact, if I didn't grow people, I don't have the energy or motivation to now do all the things that my business does.
It's true.
I see they do some very exciting work. I'm happy reading the reports, but
Yes.
if I was the one to do that job, do I have the time, the resources,
No.
the energy?
The energy, yeah.
You know, as you
Yeah.
get older,
Yeah.
then you actually leave the work to younger, more energetic people. Those who can wake up at 4 a.m. in my office, as you know,
Yes.
even in your days,
Yes.
there are people who have to work 24 hours sometimes. In
yeah,
the sense,
yeah.
you report to work at 8 in the morning,
Yes.
but you have to work overnight
Yes.
on that particular day to be able to meet a deadline that is for tomorrow.
Yes.
And my office people are completely happy to sleep there
Yeah.
and do that overnight. Yeah. And then they call it kukesha,
Yes.
you know.
Yes, we did
But
that.
and then we give them days off to compensate.
Yes, exactly.
But they are able to meet the deadline.
Yeah.
And the commitment and the passion I see with my team. You know, when they win a job, they actually win a job, they blow a vuvuzela.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we used to celebrate. But
So they
and those
have-
are the things you taught us, to be so passionate and to put. We never felt like we were employees.
You
We were
celebrate
like
your wins.
we were like part of the family.
Yes.
It was like our business, and I think, and that's what I tell the younger people, even in my team. That's how God could trust us with our own, because we were
Yes.
trustworthy to to the business.
That is so important. If you are, you work with integrity in the place where you are, given
Employed.
responsibility,
Yes.
where you're given responsibility by someone else, you handle it as though it was yours.
Yeah.
Then you are worthy of owning your own.
Yeah.
But now many people don't have that spirit. They think, oh,
Exactly.
it's a nuisance, this work.
Yeah. You
And
take
they're
it
like,
as someone else's job. But
Yes.
when you own it, it's in fact you enjoy it more, and
Yes.
you're rewarded more.
and now your success in your own business, it's actually feedback. It's telling
Yeah.
you something that you did well. Because imagine if you were casual when you are working at SBO Research and you are not doing good reports, you
Yes.
don't care to learn, you don't want to improve your skills. You would go to start your own and you don't have the skill.
Exactly. You don't succeed.
Then
even.
you start wondering why you are not getting the clients, why you are not
Yeah.
succeeding.
Exactly.
Or you don't have the motivation to look for clients, then you don't learn how to market. So people go out and then they find the challenges they are facing is in the areas where we were telling them they needed to pay attention, but they were not willing.
Yeah.
So it's actually very true that to be able to come out and create the business like you have created, breakthrough, consulting,
Yes.
very impressive.
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy. Even I am very proud
Thank you.
to say that my babies
Yes.
from SBO Research are now
Yes.
able to take the business space.
Yes.
They're able to take over and provide, leadership in this area.
Yes.
Be able to provide services that meet the client's expectations.
Yes.
And the most important thing about that is that you have now contributed to the next generation of people who provide solutions, because
Yes.
this country is growing.
Yes.
No one person can serve all the people.
No. There's opportunity for so many people.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for contributing and building the country that way. So as I hear, you have said, I'm your student. You've said that you have to have the know-how, the know-who, and then of course get resources, the people, and the capital, and be good manager of money and people, so that the business then can grow. So you who is starting now, the woman who is starting now, and like, how do I juggle? Those are the 4 things to take away. Thank you so much, Doc.
Maybe before we close, why delegation is so important. To be a mother and be running a business, delegation is key.
Yes.
If you don't learn to delegate, you cannot be able to be a mother and a business owner. So you must delegate even at home, get assistance, support in some areas, and then still delegate at the office so that you can also be doing the work you are required to do at home.
Consistently.
So to manage a home, a family, a husband, children, all that, the skill of delegation is very important. And actually mothers have almost naturally learned delegation because that's the only way to become a healthy, well-integrated person when you have the role of motherhood.
Yeah, because it's really the juggling, especially when they're younger. Yeah. And then when they grow like yours now, you are so free. You have all of it to yourself.
You're never free. Children never really grow up. I still go to my mom and say, help me with this idea. What do I do here?
Yes.
So I still also expect my children to come and ask.
Yes.
And of course they come.
They do.
Yeah.
They still do. And all of the children you've collected.
And I have so many children. Apart from my own, I have so many children in this.
You have a lot.
Yeah.
So
who come
many.
to me seeking for answers. I'm also an auntie to many.
Yeah.
So you continue to serve.
Yeah. If it was in church, tungekuwa tukikuita mom. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much. What would be your closing remarks?
My closing remark, just to encourage you to go on with this journey. Because I think what you've started, it's really important. It can be very impactful. And you will help bring out the ideas, the knowledge that is those of us who working elsewhere, doing other things, we want to share, but
Yes.
maybe what we need is a platform.
Yes.
So you've created a platform for people to share their ideas, share their knowledge, be able to inspire others.
Yes.
Especially, it's very important for women because women don't have as many spaces.
Yes.
And by the way, much as we keep thinking women have come a long way, there's still a long way to go for women to have the kind of opportunities, to have the kind of knowledge and exposure and support that they need to get to go as far as they were made to go. I also want to maybe also say I thank God for the opportunity
Yes.
to be able to share,
Yes.
the opportunity to be able to go through all those experiences and be able to come back here
Yes.
and share with the people
Yeah.
about, you know, the experiences we've had.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing, a great blessing.
Yeah.
I feel blessed.
Oh, thank you so much, Daktari. And we have to have you back again because at one point I felt like we were in Business 101. So I think we need to have another one where we talk to women in business
Yes.
and help them navigate. You know, it's interesting because there are still more women who are coming into business.
Yes.
So there's still a woman out there who is wondering, how do I start? How do I get the know-how, the know-who, especially the know-who? Because many people feel like, how do I get the networks? So I believe that that's a space where
Yes.
I will call you back again
Yes.
to just give us more tips, especially on how to build profitable networks and to get support and to have women who are in the room, on the table, who are speaking on our behalf, and also how to get there. So I believe you have all that knowledge, and I've been a beneficiary of all of drinking from your table. I've learned so much. I was telling you earlier that my mom keeps on telling me, hey, Dr. Ngahu has really helped you in even knowing Nairobi, knowing networks, knowing how to build a business, and many things that a girl like me from Kiruga village could not have imagined that I would know. So I totally, totally honor you, and I thank you for all that you did without unconsciously. I always say this mentorship of how you mentored me was kind of unconscious mentorship, but even allowing me to come into your space as a very young girl, a young researcher who did not have anything. And I always tell everyone, you bought me my first good shoes. And I learned how to wear a good perfume because of wondering, hey, I want to smell like her. And all those things. So I have learned a lot from you, and thank you so much for that mentorship. At least I can say it now while you're still here, that I value you, I honor you, and I thank you so much.
Thank you
I'm sure
so
many women like these young girls here have learned something, and they have learned a lot. And I think the other thing I always tell people, find a mentor. You can't walk a journey that, you know, when you have a mentor, you kind of see ahead. So you allow me to see many years ahead. And I'm encouraged because I can see that I'll make it. Sometimes when I feel like giving up, I'm like, I know someone made it, so I can make it. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the whole team here at her space says thank you so much. Are we clapping for her?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our audience. We have had Dr. Catherine Ngahu. She's an amazing leader, a business leader, a mother, an auntie, a good friend, and she has impacted not just women, but this country in very, very many areas. She's a builder, and I know all of you have learned a lot, and connect with her in her social media pages, as we have stated in our page down here. Continue to subscribe and follow us on all our social media pages. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye.